2018 Lunchtime Hot Topics. This is Brad Neuenswander. We've got a couple items of importance to share with you today. We're going to be talking just a little bit. Want to point you to some resources for required staff and student trainings. There's a lot of legislation that's happened over the past several years, and we just wanted to make sure that you had this. You can go to this link on our website, and it's broken down to which ones are annual, which are for this, or maybe just once throughout the tenure. So these are great. This is a great resource. Again, the link right here on our Lunchtime Hot Topics. It's out there on our website. It's got contact information, whether you want to reach out to Kent Reed or Lynn Bechtel, and it also has a statute. But these are, it's just a good resource to have close when you're looking at what's required for students, what's required for staff, administration. So just wanted to point that resource out to you for your future reference, especially as you start thinking about what you need later this winter, spring, and then maybe get some things into your calendar for next year. Again, if you have any questions throughout this, you can submit those to lunchtime@ksde.org. And then I'm going to turn it over to Cary Rogers for some ACT accommodations input and updates, because as we go into February, for students that need accommodations that want to take the ACT for free, Cary's got some updates on that. And then Cindy Hadicke is going to give you some updates on phonemic awareness and phonics updates, some workshops. So great to be partnering with you on this. And I just want to remind you that if you go out to my website on the department under Division of Learning Services, go to my site. All of these recordings, Lunchtime Hot Topics, are recorded. There's a table that will show you what topics based on what date the recording was. That way, if you ever want to replay them back. So thanks for being on the ride with us.
Good afternoon. My name is Cary Rogers, and I'm an education program consultant for the Special Education and Title Services team. I want to give you some updates as far as accommodations. The accommodations manual was updated this summer and is located on the KSDE website. Text-to-speech for ELA on the state assessment must be approved. This accommodation is intended for students who have severe reading disabilities and receive auditory instruction, cannot access printed text due to blindness or low vision, and do not have adequate Braille skills, and or have a motor disability that prevents them from accessing Braille. If you have a student that is needing this accommodation, please have your staff contact me. ACT accommodations are available for students with current IEP or 504 plans. Test coordinators are able to request these accommodations until January 11th, 2019. The ACT must approve the accommodations. Documentation of the accommodations must also be submitted to ACT. A couple reminders as far as the DLM, the Dynamic Learning Maps assessment. Please remind your staff the fall test window closes on December 18th. KSDE has been looking at the DLM kite enrollments and DLM first contact data located on Educator Portal for the 2018-19 school year. Students enrolled in the Dynamic Learning Maps with no disability or declined to answer, listed as a primary disability, are considered to be errors in coding. Developmental delay applies only to students ages 3 to 9. We encourage you to have your staff make any necessary changes to fix these enrollments. If teams determine that the Dynamic Learning Maps is no longer an appropriate test for a student, the team needs to amend the IEP to reflect this change. Test coordinators will then need to exit the student from the DLM system and enroll them in the CAP system. Teams should be reviewing available data prior to each IEP to determine appropriate assessment and accommodations for students. We now have a Kansas alternate assessment flowchart located on the Dynamic Learning Maps webpage for teams to reference when making these decisions.
Hello everyone, welcome to this hot topic on the science of reading. I am Cindy Hadicke, and I am the elementary education program consultant for the state, and we're going to get started. The science of reading, I'm going to talk to you about some upcoming professional development that I'm hosting in service centers across the state. As the consultant, I've heard the need and the desire for early literacy training, and in this hot topic I'm going to give a short preview of that professional development that I'm offering. And if you're interested in attending this professional development, please contact your educational service center to enroll. Most of these sites are filling up quickly. And the next slide, we're going to talk about the dates, the times, location of this professional development. Professional development times, locations, I need you to please contact the service center to enroll. The first one is going to be held Monday, December 10th at Greenbush, Lawrence. Unfortunately, that one is already full. Tuesday, December 11th will be held at Greenbush, Girard. Friday, December 14th will be held at Orion, Clearwater. Monday, January 7th, 2019 will be held at Northwest Kansas Educational Service Center in Oakley. Tuesday, January 8th will be at Smoky Hill, Salina. Friday, January 11th will be held at Smoky Hill, Hayes. Tuesday, January 15th will be held at ESDAC in Hutchinson. Thursday, January 17th will be held at Southwest Plains in Sublette. Each of these professional developments will be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. with lunch served. There is no college credit offered for these since it is just a 4-hour PD. Service centers have enrollment information and costs for signing up. Covered in this professional development will be brain science. We'll cover the parts of the brain and how each part of the brain has specific correlations to the functions of reading. As a participant, you'll be engaged while learning with your peers and learning how the human brain is a fascinating organ that is not naturally wired to learn to read. This professional development will give you resources to access parts of the brain in children that struggle to learn to read. We'll also talk about phonemic awareness. Our Department of Education has English Language Arts Standards and Reading Foundational Skills, and the Kansas Early Learning Standards both have a focus of instruction on phonemic awareness, or the ability to think, notice, and work with sounds. Phonological awareness is the awareness of the structure, speech, sound, and the ability to manipulate those sounds. While phonemic awareness is more advanced and deals with the smallest unit of sound, or individual phonemes, and the ability to manipulate those sounds. Explicitly teaching a phonological awareness in the early years can eliminate future reading problems for many students. Struggling readers at any age can work on phonological awareness skills. So this is one thing that we're going to cover in detail at this training. Phonics. Our Department of Education has English Language Arts Standards and Reading Foundational Skills, has a focus of instruction on phonics. Phonics is the relationships of letters and sounds. Effective phonics instruction should be explicitly taught so that letter-sound relationships are clearly understood and taught in a logical sequence. Students should have frequent opportunities to apply the letter-sound relationship skill to reading of words, sentences, and stories. We will cover this in detail. We will cover the direction of explicit instruction and what that looks like and the steps for that as well. Thank you for joining me on this hot topic. I hope that you can join me for this upcoming professional development. If there's anything that I can do for you, for your school or for your school district, please let me know. My contact information is on the last slide. Thank you.